Okay, so in the first session where you're introducing numbers 1 to 12 to a Year 3 group, you've probably got a 20-minute session maximum. Your aim in this session will be that a majority of the pupils can all recognise the numbers 1 to 12, and that the more able ones in the class will be able to produce a fair few of them accurately as well. In the follow-up session, maybe another 20 minutes, that's when the outcome will be that the majority of pupils in the class can actually produce the numbers themselves. Okay, so when you present the numbers, okay, you really need to do a lot of repetition with them and gradually build up the numbers that you're dealing with. So start with, say, let's imagine we're doing French. We could do un, deux, trois. Now using the fingers is very useful for the kids to get them to count with you with their fingers. So un, deux, trois. Okay, un, deux, trois. Quatre. Un, deux, trois, quatre. So you're going to revisit the previous numbers each time and gradually build up. And add 5. Okay, go through them again. Add 6. And you'll gradually, with loads of repetition, build up to 12 for the number 12. Okay, so following the presentation stage, where the kids have joined in, you've then got a further stage of practice to really embed these numbers, where the kids are actively producing the words themselves. Again, use the fingers all the time. You may be shouting out random numbers, maybe cinco, ocho. Okay, the kids showing the number of fingers all the time and then doing it themselves. Okay, they can work in pairs. One kid can say a number to another who's going to produce the amount of fingers required. Another really good way of getting the kids to remember the language that they're learning and be able to reproduce it is word association. Okay, so let's take French for example. You're teaching the French numbers 1 to 12. Well, within that we've got cat. Sounds a bit like a cat, doesn't it? Is there any gesture you can do to make the kids remember it sounds like a cat? Cinq. Okay, you're sinking down there. Cinq. Sept would be a pudding that's just been settled. Wheat. It's blowing in the field. It's the wheat. We took Spanish. We've got cinco. Don't forget that one. Cinco. Okay. There may be a monster in the class. You see yeti. You see a yeti. Okay, that's a bit of a loose one, but there's another example of what I mean. Or if you're doing German, really lends itself to it. You might have ein, zwei, drei. Drei. Not a very wet number, that one. Drei. You're afraid of this one. Always afraid of number 4. 4. Okay, we could have, if you've got a lad in the class, you might call Ben, you might have sieben. Sieben. There he is. Or you might have, what's the smallest number in the world in German? It's got to be 11. Okay, and well, number 6, obviously not going to go there on film. Okay, another really good pupil-centered way of getting the kids to practice these numbers is for little groups of tables to all produce a rap. And it's great to be able to get that pupil-centered at this early stage of the learning. So in German it might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 und 12. Now each kid, or each group of kids can obviously produce that, be it French, Spanish or German, and show it to the rest of the group. So rap is always a fantastic way of practicing things.